Hi, I'm Brittany of BeeZeeArt, and today I'm going to show you how to make a bat using my beginner bat pattern. This pattern is available on either Etsy or Craftsy, and links will be in the description. Before I start, I just wanted to mention that I do have 3 birds in the craft room, so if they make some noise, I apologize in advance. To start, you're going to want to print your pattern and cut it out. And now, if you want to make a solid colored bat, which is easiest, just print this first page out. The second page just has an extra wing pattern, which you'll need if you're going to make a two-tone bat. Now I'm going to cover making a two-tone bat since that is the harder version. So I've traced my pattern pieces onto fabric and cut them out, leaving a seam allowance. As you can see, this is where I traced, and I just left some space when I cut. You want to leave approximately 1/4 of an inch or so. I kind of eyeball it. Now, since I'm making a two-tone bat, we'll cut out one piece for the back. Now, if you were making a one-tone bat, you'd just flip this and trace it again for your front piece. But since I'm not, I did this for my front piece, which is what this is for, and then I traced 2 wings. And then I traced 2 ears of the dark colored and 2 ears of the light colored. So that is how you start the pattern. Next comes the sewing. To start sewing a bat, you're going to start with the body piece and the wing. I'm going to align the wing right at the corner of the neck here, and then you will want to curve it around to match the body. That's what's called sewing an opposing curve. If you're having a hard time, you can pin this in place to make it so it won't slip on your sewing machine, but I'm not going to do that. With all sewing, you should start by going back and forth a couple times to make a knot, so your sewing won't come undone. And then you just sew around to attach the wing to the body. I forgot to make a knot at the end. No problem. You can stick the needle back in and just go back and forth a few times. That should secure the thread in. Now, I cut off my excess seam allowance. This helps make sure that all the curves are nice and neat. Repeat this process with the other wing. Now, to sew the ears, you're going to want to align a bottom piece with the top piece. Make sure they go the same way. It should be fairly obvious. You'll want to start right about here and sew all the way around till here. Again, if you're having a hard time with it slipping, you can pin it. Once more, I'm going to trim off my excess seam allowance. When you finished your ear, you're going to want to turn it right side out. I use a pair of hemostats for this, but you can use whatever works. So it's right side out. You're going to want to look on your pattern piece about where the line is and fold the ear to match. Use a pin to hold it in place. Repeat this process with your other ear to have them both done. Next, we're going to start getting our bat ready to be sewn. First, I'm going to make sure that I've cut little holes to insert the safety eyes. So, just make little tiny cuts where the eyes are on the front of your bat. Then, lay your bat down. Next, we're going to pin our ears where they're going to go. So, on the front of the bat, you'll want them to look like this. Therefore, they're going to have to go this way so that we turn it right side out. It'll be correct. Make sure they're lined up with the points here. And then pin them into place on the head. Do this with both ears. You want to make sure the ears are facing down like this, so that they'll be right side up when we turn it right side out. Make sure they're not sticking off to the side or too far into the middle, or they'll end up kind of lopsided and looking a bit funny when we're done. Now, place the back body piece over the front, align everything, and pin it in place. Notice I'm flipping it to make sure that it's even on both sides still. Around the head, take special care of your ears so that they're not pinned into a seam. There, now we're ready to sew the body. To sew the body, start here at the bottom where you made the mark. Sew all the way around your bat from there, again taking special care not to sew up your ears. Alright, I finished sewing my bat and I cut off the excess seam allowance as I've been doing before. Now on the front side of your bat, you're going to want to insert a safety eye and poke it out through the hole. Then, to secure the safety eye, you push the washer down onto it. Finally, I use a pair of wire cutters to trim the post. This helps the face lay flat once it's stuffed without the post sticking through so far. Repeat this with your other safety eye. Then, turn your bat right side out. Again, I'm using a pair of hemostats, but whatever works for you will get the job done. Ta-da! Here's our bat turned all the way right side out. It looks almost done. We just have a couple more steps. Here's where your disappearing ink pen will come in handy. You're going to want to take your bat and, if you were making a single colored bat, you put the body here and trace from here to here and here to here. Since we have a two-toned bat, we already sort of have lines from there to there, so we don't need to do that. But you can use the marker to draw where the veins on the wing will go. Next, we're going to sew the bat to define the body and to add the detail on the wings. To define where the body goes, we're going to use a technique called stitching in the ditch. This is common with quilting. You're going to want to put your needle right there and sew as close as you can onto that seam line. It's okay if you get a little farther to either side. It won't be that noticeable. My best advice here is to go slowly and pull the fabric a bit to either side so you can clearly see the seam. Repeat this on the other side. Next, sew the seams onto your wings on the top like this. After you clip off the excess thread, you'll be ready to stuff. To stuff the bat, you'll just take normal polyfill stuffing and stuff it. It's that simple. I use hemostats for this as well. They're kind of my go-to tool if you can't tell. You'll want to make sure that your bat is somewhat firm because stuffing will settle over time and it will look a little bit flatter. I like to make sure that the head especially is a nice roundish ball. And then the body as well. I stuff the neck a little less firmly to add some definition between the two. Once your bat is done being stuffed, you're going to close it using a ladder stitch. To make a ladder stitch, you want to insert the needle from the inside out to the front. And then you'll take it and insert it on the other side and push it back out. Repeat this step every once in a while. Pull on your ladder stitch to secure it. Do this all the way across the bat. I'm trying my hardest to make sure that there are no polyfill threads sticking out from my seam. The horizontal lines like this are why they call it a ladder stitch. If you do get some threads sticking out, that's okay. They should pull out relatively quick and easily. Now, to make a knot, insert it back into the material and pull it out. You'll have a loop like this. Wrap the needle around the loop a few times and pull. I like to do this several times to make sure that it's secure. When you finish, stick the needle back in and poke it out at a random part of the body. It doesn't matter where. Then, pull your plush so it's nice and squished, and snip the thread close to the body. When the body puffs back up, the thread is gone, and your bat is finished. Now you just need to lint roll him. If you'd like, you can sew a loop onto the top of the head. As easy as that. Now you can tie him anywhere you'd like. Ta-da!